Hi there, welcome to Terraland Soap Opera. Today I'm going to do a reading for Gemini energy, and like usual, we're going to do two rows. The top row I'll refer to as high vibe Gemini energy, and the bottom row is a more worldly, shadowy Gemini energy, because we all have our dualistic nature of free will and we have to make decisions in our life. And we all can be tempted by our more worldly nature. We want to stay in our comfort zone. We kind of want to keep doing life the way we've done it, because to move forward in life differently can be scary. And we have to have some hope and faith and belief in ourselves and in love, and be more bold and brave and confident to move forward and just try to do life a little differently, maybe change some habits. But it can particularly be difficult if it might mean by being more hopeful and believing in our dreams and love and intuition. It might mean maybe we'd have to leave a job or a friendship or a romantic relationship, and so that obviously makes it more challenging. Some people right now could be debating within themselves, struggling within themselves, but there's other people moving forward in the world. They did the debate, and their more worldly, immature, or egoic or defensive nature didn't win. We have to debate these things within ourselves, and either our more hopeful, believing, loving nature wins the argument, and we move forward in life kind of differently, or our more worldly nature kind of wins the argument. Okay, let's see. Well, the bottom row has, in our worldly nature, we could like to keep living life the way we've been living it. Why? Because we don't have to take creative, inspired action to move forward in life differently. We can just stay where we're at, live our life the way we've been living it. In a lot of ways, it might be emotionally fulfilling, but sometimes things can just seem emotionally fulfilling because I don't have to do anything else. But the problem is the Ten of Swords. The Nine of Cups and Pisces energies, that we could kind of indulge ourselves, kind of living in illusion and fantasy land, not having to put in work and effort to take action. I can just stay here in fantasy land. I could keep living my life the way I live it with whoever I hang out with. But in the Ten of Swords, we could have found out that it's not working out the way that we want. The Two of Pentacles, we've been juggling. And there might be people we would like to be in a relationship with, but those people aren't willing to try to balance things out with us. Well, we got to see the truth of it. Some other people we might know aren't very balanced. And we already know that though we could have wanted a dream to come into reality with them, we can't have a dream come into reality with people that are completely out of balance, Or we might have found out that some people are two-faced. They like to present themselves as being this high vibe person, but really they live more from their mind and their heart. They have these illusions about what it means to be in a relationship, or they are more self-indulgent or more caught up in the things of the world, but they don't want people to know that they're more about ego or image or money or materialism. They like to present themselves as, oh no, I'm not more worldly focused. Love is what drives me in my life, In balance. We all want these things of the world, but some people also want loving, authentic, nurturing relationships in their life. And that's kind of what makes the rest of the things in the world worthwhile. And for other people, they could be exactly the opposite. I just indulge myself in a relationship anyway. I live more from my mind than my heart. I don't do love. I get hurt doing love. And somewhere along the way, some people decided, I'm not doing love. I will indulge myself in relationships, and I will get in relationships with people and maybe, work to maintain balance in a relationship, so long as it works for me. So long as it's good for my ego, my image, my status, we're getting along. But, it can be hard to believe for those of you who are motivated and inspired by love to realize that there is some people that goes to show how powerful our mind is. So much of our life is just based on, what we think. There can be people that are in relationships with people for decades, and they tell themselves maybe every day, no, 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 no. I don't really love them. I'm not really emotionally invested in them. I'm just enjoying myself in this relationship. And as long as it works out, I'll keep staying in it. At any time, I could leave if I wanted. And some of those people, that's how some people live their life. It is all about indulging themselves. Let's go look at these 3 cards that aren't showing themselves. But another reason why some of us could kind of want to, even if there's people who aren't balancing things out with us, even though we could want to keep staying in fantasy land because otherwise I do have to put in this work and effort to move forward, and we could have some fear and insecurity about that. So when we're ready, we all need to take time, especially if we went through some kind of painful ending or had people who backstabbed and betrayed us, or things just didn't work out the way we want. We do have to take this time, kind of in our shadowy nature, to kind of come to a place of peace about it. I accept we were on different pages. I accept that person is not who I thought they were. I accept that those people don't want to move forward with me in this way. And we have to take this time to kind of love ourselves. And then when we're ready and our intuition is telling us we're ready to move forward in life differently, then we move forward in life differently. Let's go see what's not showing itself. The Magician and the 2 of Cups. And the 4 of Cups. Again, we've all been in relationships and we wanted to manifest a connection with someone. And so we could have been waiting, because up here in high vibe energy, you could have communicated with some people. The 8 of Pentacles, the King of Wands, the 3 of Swords, the 4 of Wands, because of the 8 of Wands. Something else I had been in didn't work out the way I wanted. The 2 of Pentacles is Capricorn energy. It can be work or friendships and things like that. Whatever it was didn't work out the way I wanted. And I could have moved on from that situation, and then I put in this work and effort to get balance within myself about what had happened, and the relationships or situations that didn't work out the way I wanted, that I thought it was going to be, we were on the same page or something. And so then I could go take action and communicate with someone who I think is more on the same page as me. Some of you in Aries, or just people who you think aren't more caught up in the world or indulging themselves in relationships. People who you think don't live more from their mind than their heart. People who you think are more motivated and inspired to be more balanced between their mind and their heart. And the difference between the 10 of Swords and the 3 of Swords is the 7 of Swords. We could know some people who really kind of are caught up in things of the world, and it's all about looking like a shining star in the world, and that's what they think will make them happy, and, they make their life about that. That is what they feel drives and motivates them. And you could know some other people that you think aren't so caught up in either being about themselves or these things of the world. The 3 of Swords can be people that are balanced between their mind and their heart, that what drives and motivates them is more truth and love and being creative and inspired and hopeful and believing in the world, that you wanted to come together with them in a workplace or a friendship or a relationship. Well, so we can communicate that. The pentacles talk about bringing something into the 3D world. The wands and the swords can talk about communication. And you could have communicated to either some people in your past in Virgo energy, or someone in your life who you might feel could have been in your past, but you feel like kind of moved on ahead of you while you were learning some lessons in life, or just people in your life that you know. After you communicated with some people, everybody kind of had to take this time to think maybe about how they're moving forward in their life, what's driving and motivating them, what about the people they're in relationship with, what drives and motivates them. Do they think you're someone that is on the same page as them? Are they someone who kind of presents themselves as high vibe, but they really kind of juggle, and if they were to move forward with you, they'd have to quit juggling and quit being kind of immature and indulgent in a relationship, and they'd have to work through their pain and heartbreak, or you would have to do that if you were that type of person and someone wanted to be in a relationship with you. Then I kind of look at the Four of Wands as, are we firing on all four cylinders? In tarot, we have the four suits of the deck: the heart, the mind, the worldly nature, and the creative inspired nature. And in our more worldly view of life, we can just want to be in relationships where it is kind of more about being in a relationship, indulging in it, being happy in it. But it is kind of more this worldly view of life, and it's good for both of us in a lot of ways. But are we really authentically respecting the fact that all four aspects of ourselves are important equally, and wanting to grow up and mature ourselves to really be inspired to go on this adventure in life in love, and letting love and intuition guide the decisions we make? It's not about just indulging ourselves in it. It isn't about, oh, I haven't really decided, you haven't really decided, let's just be in a relationship and just go indulge in another relationship. Still haven't picked a path. High vibe people have learned all these lessons in life, and they have realized their truth. In their Virgo energy of self, they put in work and effort to figure out, why are things that I have invested in not worked out the way I wanted? Oh, well, for one, I have to learn to quit looking to other people to love me, and I need to love me. Aries energy is about the self. So I need to work on myself and my own past pain and heartbreak and my own self-limiting beliefs. And I need to come together in joy and celebration within myself. Kind of like learning to be my own best mother, father, coach voice within my head, so I can get out of more codependent relationships and be more independent in the world. The Nine of Cups. Some people went through this, and then because they learned to love themselves and offer themselves that cup of love, to become independent of more of their worldly nature and more codependent relationships, then they put in this work and effort to love themselves, to heal, to get more balance within themselves, to be more motivated and inspired to believe in themselves and believe in their dreams, operating from truth and love to guide their decisions, not my fear, my insecurity, my lust, my greed, my pride, my ego, and my more codependent nature. And then they go communicate with other people. Do you want to move forward with me in this way? Some of those people could be kind of heartbroken because, well, you were living your life and they were living their life. They could have moved forward with someone else. And we have to deal with the truth of that. We can get out of one situation. We meet new people. We reach out to some people that we previously could have pushed away because we had some lessons learned in life. And then they're like, oh, damn. Kind of would have liked to have been in a relationship with you, but when that didn't work out, I moved forward with other people. And they're more, we're kind of in that type of relationship dynamic. So, that we all got to deal with the truth of that. When we maybe weren't dealing with some of our issues and had some growing up to do, and We maybe didn't put in work and effort to work more cooperatively with some people in our life when we should have. There's consequences for our actions. But we trust it's all in God's divine plan. We keep putting in work and effort to be inspired by the people in our life that we have seen that have certain traits, qualities, and characteristics that we admire. And there's other people in the world that have those traits, qualities, and characteristics. And we keep moving forward with those people. Some of the people that we could communicate with could realize that maybe when things in their life hadn't worked out the way they wanted, that they could have moved forward in some relationships, but they could have gotten themselves in a more mismatched relationship. They could have thought the people that they were getting in a relationship with, just like some of you, that the person they're in a relationship with isn't maybe in the relationship with them for the right reason. Maybe kind of juggles, might be kind of indulgent, lives more from their mind than their heart. And if that is the truth, they might communicate their truth to, some of the people in their life that they kind of aligned with, whether that's friend or family members or romantic interests, that if I were to keep moving forward in this way, I think it would be more because of immaturity or indulgence. And the truth is, I think I need to put in some work and effort to work through my own issues, because sometimes we can move forward in life and we need to, like, wait. Where is this headed? Is this aligned with truth or is it not? Are we motivated and inspired by the same things or are we not? And sometimes we have to take a pause to do this work, to really think about what our truth is, why we're doing what we're doing, why some people in our life are doing what they're doing, or why they want to be in a relationship with us. And we have to make these decisions about how we want to move forward. And some of the people that you could want to or have communicated with, or someone you might meet as you move forward, might decide that they think they're more on the same page as you. And you're just going to listen to your intuition, because there's going to be other people who see you putting in this work and effort to move forward, and they just want to pop up in your life to be the next person to indulge in a relationship with you. But they also just don't want you to get the justice to get in a relationship with someone who's more on the same page as you. They want to be the next person to indulge in a relationship with you. They also are juggling, or they might be mad at someone, or some other relationship didn't work out. And it's just to listen to your intuition. So you could work with someone. Again, the Pentacles talk about putting in work and effort and resources, and the Wands can talk about communication. The Swords can talk about communication, to just get to know people, to find out what their truth is. And some of the people that you will come in contact with, you could be the one who's kind of heartbroken because, you've learned to listen to your intuition, and you might know that someone really hasn't healed, that they might be in competitive energy. You might get the feeling they just want to backstab someone else. You might think they're still juggling, they're kind of two-faced, that kind of just wanted to indulge, and it would be hard for you to move away from them. But you've already been in relationships with people who haven't been enlightened to the truth that it's about love, and it doesn't turn out the way you want because you are motivated and inspired by love, and they're kind of more motivated to indulge themselves in a relationship. So with some people, you could be heartbroken. They're not coming with, they're not trying to balance things out with you. They've moved on in other relationships, high vibe or low vibe, whatever. Um, Irregardless, you're going to take this action to keep maintaining balance within yourself, to keep being inspired to move forward. The people in your life who are putting in this work and effort to move forward with you in this way, that are truthful and just and fair and loving, are the people you're going to move forward with. And there'll be people in your life that are more inspired by the world in their Virgo energy, or because they're already in a relationship, you're going to move forward with people in the world who are more on the same page as you. So let's ask, what's coming up for the people who harness some high vibe Gemini energy that they might not see coming up? A card not showing itself because of the Eight of Cups. Let's go see what it is. The King of Pentacles. Well, again, there can be the King of Pentacles and the Eight of Pentacles and the Two of Pentacles. If it was a job that you had been in and there's someone else a different job you might have wanted, some of those jobs aren't going to work out the way you want, and some of those jobs, even if those people do want you to work there because of kind of listening to your intuition or because some truth you might know about them, same way in a relationship, if there's people who want to be in a relationship with you, if you already know the truth of who they are and how they live their life, or by talking and communicating with them and listening to your intuition, it's not the right fit for you, you're going to keep moving forward, not getting caught up in illusion and being more tempted in your worldly, lustful, whatever nature, if it's romantic. And then some of the people that you thought were on the same page as you realize they're not, and you need to move on. And there are some other people that aren't more about the world, who are more inspired to go on an adventure in life, and they want to move forward with you because they're people who are more independent of this worldly egoic nature. So, you're harnessing this energy in a high vibe way. High vibe Virgo, Aries, Libra, Aries, Sagittarius, Gemini. My truth is, I want to work together with other people who are inspired by the truth, which is love. And the Three of Swords comes after the Two of Swords, which, kind of like the Two of Pentacles, can be about being stuck, haven't really picked a path. I'm only going to move forward with people who are firing on all four cylinders, not being tipped out of balance, thinking that it should be more about them or disregard their more creative, inspired, or loving nature. Just people who are more mature. And as you meet people and people reach out to you and you reach out to people and meet people, you're only going to move forward with the people who are on the same page as you. And there's going to be people who might want to be in your life, but what they don't realize about you with that Queen of Pentacles or the King of Pentacles not showing itself is that you've learned these lessons in life about people who haven't picked a path yet, and they're still juggling, or they really are just trying to confuse people about the truth, but they're more about themselves or these things of the world and indulging themselves in juggling. And it's like, no. And then when they try to hope that you'll move forward with them in a relationship, you will probably communicate your truth, and then they'll be heartbroken that you're not in the same energy you used to be at one time in your life, or other people that they know that they can kind of be in that type of relationship with. And you're like, I don't want to be in that type of relationship. I'm moving forward like this. Do you want to come forward like this? And they'll be like, Oh no, I would have liked to, but that's not my truth. Oh well, I gotta go find someone else who maybe hasn't seen the truth of people like me and are willing to get in a relationship and let me juggle them and live more from my mind than my heart and indulge myself in a relationship because you're not willing to invest in me being that way. And that's another reason. If there was some people you communicated your truth to, some of those people would love to be in a relationship with you, but they know that's not their truth. And that they could try to come in and try to manipulate you and confuse you about the truth of who they are. But the Eight of Cups walks away from the Seven of Cups of emotional confusion and people trying to emotionally confuse you about the truth. You have learned to stand up for yourself and what you believe in, and have learned these lessons in life and listening to your intuition. Some people know they wouldn't be able, that's not their truth, and they know they can't come in and confuse you about that truth because of the lessons that you've learned in life. So they basically can't manipulate you. And they're heartbroken because your foundation is moving forward and they'd like to be in a relationship with you, but they know that they kind of live more from their mind than their heart, that they juggle, that they're more indulgent, and that you wouldn't move forward with them anyway. Eventually, you'd move on from them, and you're not willing to indulge them temporarily. So, there's some people down here who hide that they just kind of manipulate people in relationships, create the illusion that they're motivated and inspired by love in the Two of Cups Cancer energy, but that's not really the truth. But they try to create that illusion. Oh, this other relationship didn't work out, or I didn't move forward with you before, or whatever. But really, even though that those things could be true, they still haven't picked a path. They're still have these regrets of the past that they haven't worked through to take that cup of higher love, but they don't want people to know that. And until they work through those issues of why they do what they do, that's Virgo energy, until they do that work within themselves to figure out, why don't I have more hope and faith and belief and love? Why am I kind of manipulated by these things of the world or other people? Why do I get caught up in fantasy land? Well, we can all be manipulated in our passionate nature. We can all be more manipulated in our hopeful nature. We've all got lessons to learn about listening to our intuition. And the people who've kind of learned all those lessons like you have are the people who are willing to move forward with you in life. Okay, what's coming up for the people who harness a more worldly, shadowy Gemini energy? The Queen of Wands. Why? Because of the Two of Wands. Some people are acting kind of shadowy in a relationship right now or in the workplace, whatever. They have some high vibe people around them in Queen of Wands energy, Leo energy, that are loving and nurturing and warm and encouraging. Why? Because they have a dream. And high vibe people put a lot of work and effort to make a relationship work because they want to bring a dream into reality. They could love the job. They could love these people. But eventually the high vibe, if these people keep not wanting to see the truth, want to keep juggling, want to keep being indulged or staying in the relationship where it's not really more authentic, eventually some high vibe people are going to end a relationship with them. I'm done juggling. For a long time, I was being patient, hoping you would see the truth and become more independent of your more worldly or defensive nature or being about yourself nature. And I was hoping you would work together with me in a just and fair way so this relationship could move forward. And eventually they see that there's some people in their life that are not willing to do that. And though they're sad, I want to move forward, not creating an illusion, being in a relationship for these other reasons. I want to be in relationships with people who are independent and authentic and warm and loving, who have learned to love themselves and make their life more about love then tipped more in favor of ego and image or defensiveness or themselves. And eventually some of those people are going to leave their life. And some people thought they could juggle forever. Like, oh, I know they love me. Oh, I know that they want this to work out. I know I can keep playing these games. I can keep juggling. I can keep indulging myself in these immature, hurtful, unkind ways of being. I'm sure they'll just want to keep being in a relationship with me. And for a long time, people could. But eventually, they keep being more and more heartbroken that people aren't working together with them in a more just and fair way. And eventually, the only person they can change is themselves. And while one person was juggling, another person does this work behind the scenes to keep believing in love. And eventually they decide to offer themselves that cup of love that these other people aren't doing. And from the 4 to the 9 is taking back the 5 of Cups. I'm not going to keep staying in a relationship with people who don't work with me cooperatively in love. And I've done this work within myself to figure out why I'd even stay in a relationship like that. And I did this work to love myself, to get more balance within myself. If I'm being a loving, just, fair, encouraging person in a relationship, I deserve to be in relationships with other people who treat me that way. And if I've been that way in a relationship and other people are still juggling, still being immature, still being indulgent, when am I going to wake up and see the truth that apparently they're not interested in living their life that way? And I love myself enough to let those people live their life the way they're living it. And I become inspired to take action to bring my dreams into reality. And go find the people in the world who aren't operating from ego and self, who are more inspired by a dream of being more independent in the world and being more motivated and inspired by love. And I'm going to go find those people. And because some of these people hide that they try to manipulate people in relationships, but they don't want to quit juggling. They want to present themselves as these high vibe people, but they're really kind of more about themselves. If they do have someone who's willing to stay in a relationship with them, it might be someone else who operates from ego and is more about themselves. And they've had people that moved away from them and didn't want to be in a relationship with them. And they have a dream of wanting to be in a relationship to look like they have these things that other people have. They just aren't willing to do love either. And they could be more attached to their more worldly nature and really like to make their life either about these things they like to indulge in, or make their life about the world and having a certain status and image in the world. And these people are on the same page. But they could just be people who are manipulating. You're either being truthful and honest and just and fair in a relationship, or you're trying in shadowy energy. The Queen of Wands is, I'm trying to emotionally manipulate people to get them to do what I want. I'm using my emotions manipulatively. I'm using my mind and my words and my sexuality and my assets that I have in the world to try to manipulate people to get them to stay in a relationship with me and kind of indulge me in whatever kind of immature ways of being I have that really aren't conducive to a just and fair relationship. But if we're both willing to indulge each other, maybe in our more worldly, prideful way, and we're kind of close enough alike that, that we can, willing to try to work things out with each other because of the status or the ego or the image, then we'll stay in a relationship. And if that's how people is the point of their life, that's how they're going to do it. Some other people are like, I'm not willing to just try to keep balancing things out with someone that wants me to kind of indulge them in their ego nature or immature nature. And go find people who are more inspired and more grown up and more mature. Some people could just get in a relationship and stay in a relationship even with someone they don't want to be in a relationship with. Because if it makes them look what an emotionally fulfilling life I have, look how victorious and successful I am. For some people, that is the most important thing in life, is how people view them. I have a dream of Leo energy, also represented by the sun. Look at how victorious and successful I look like in the world. I might be completely living more from my mind than my heart. I might completely not even find this emotionally fulfilling, but I'm maintaining balance in a relationship because it does make me look like I have this emotionally fulfilling, wonderful life. And if that's the most important thing, is to create an illusion in the world, and other people weren't willing to just create an illusion in the world. They want like the real deal. And they're bold and brave enough and inspired to go live their authentic life, not to make their life about the illusion. And some people don't want to see that some of the people they want to be in a relationship with, or they are in a relationship with, really don't have their best interest at heart and are manipulating them. And some of them, they're just in codependent energy. But because they are in such codependent energy, if they're indulging someone else, trying to get that person to love them, it's probably never going to work out the way they want. There will never be equal give and take in it. But because they love that person, they're willing to kind of indulge them in their poor behavior. Okay, if you want that type of relationship, you can. Other people are just juggling them. It works for them. If someone else comes along, more status, more money, more ego, more image, sorry, I'm going to backstab you. I found someone else who's willing to indulge me more. And that's what can happen in a mismatched relationship too. We can get along for quite a long time, but eventually the person who really isn't motivated and inspired to be more just and fair and self-disciplined or loving, when someone comes along where they don't have to do that anymore, that they think they could get in a relationship with, yeah, they'll leave the relationship. Everybody wants to live their authentic life. And we can be in relationships with people who we know we're not motivated and inspired by the same things. But because of these different reasons, we can stay in it. But eventually, whoever isn't getting to really live their truth and is trying to make their life more about someone else's truth, they're going to leave. Either high vibe people are going to leave because I can't live my life and make it about these things. These things of the world are not enough for me to stay in it. And shadowy people don't like having to temper themselves. They want to go do what they want to go do. And they want to go hang out with people who are more like them. And that really is just and fair. And we need to accept the truth of it and move on. That some people we would like to be in a relationship with, even though there can be love there, we're just not on the same page. What we find emotionally fulfilling in life is different. So there you go, Gemini energy. I wish you peace, love, and joy, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.